ridiculously good music from Coco Bear featuring Lord Snow on vocals, delivering her just absolutely on point, masterful vocal. That was a plural. On this masterful track called A Situation by Coco Bear and featuring along for the ride Mr. 0 Point Projects. I don't know, maybe that was the Rickenbacker making that bass noise there. I don't know. I haven't dug into the ins and outs of how that song was put together any further than this. I listened to it a couple of times. It's a great piece of music. It brings back... Well, it doesn't bring back anything. I don't know what I'm talking about. It kind of reminds me of that sort of big beat type of thing of whenever that was a thing, 90s, late 90s, whenever it was. That rhythmic thing. I mean, that would have been a pretty cool sort of instrumental interlude, but when you got vocals on a track like that, where the chord base is not moving all that much, but there's just something inherently captivating about Lord Snow's singing, that she kind of lights up every song she appears on, whether it's her own music or a collaboration. I would still recommend that everybody who hasn't heard Resist, the 0 Point Projects track featuring Lord Snow, the best single of last year by anyone, anywhere, ever. Well, not ever, maybe, you know. Let's maybe Strawberry Fields is better, but but yeah, that's a great song. That's where I first heard her. Lord Snow should also come back and start doing shows for SLE, because she did one at least last year or whenever it was, and that was a great show. Great music and a great presenter. But the next song is by Bad Belly, and it features Feral Surge, and it's called Fan Fiction. I believe this has been on rotation on SLE for a while. It's been played on other shows too, and it's here now too. I played Bad Belly. Sorry, I have played Bad Belly before, but this is a pretty new single, Fan Fiction, featuring Feral Surge.
Trust is without justice, with generational gaps, say just assumptions, regurgitated arguments with no gumption, researching and discerning a critical function. You're leaving room for inconvenience in your truth, or is it bulletproof? Refuse to dumb it down for the obtuse. Those with some trips around the sun versus the youth, stomping in them boots, never to walk in someone else's shoes. We getting triggered by the cues, we're battered and bruised. If y'all ain't paid y'all dues, you're utterly confused. All balls, no cock, all soul, no sock. Let the balls drop, shut them down, open up shop. Another night in the twilight. You're gonna look back at your life if you're still upright. Not on your back, down where the worms be at. Inject a narrative to throw them off track. Don't end up in the scrap pile. Don't be a stat in a file that may have started off a drunk dial and taken a while to realize. Have a coke and a smile. Speculating in uncertain times like yelling fire at a cinephile in a crowded theater. You never learn critical thinking either. Magical thinking, a seizure. No longer humanoid, a different creature type feature. You're a spaz running a fever. A receiver for belief in the deceiver, yeah. Definition is fan fiction. You're eaten up by the addiction. Point your filthy digits with precision. Inflict your misinterpreted revision because it's fitting. And align with something you believe to listen. I get it, bro. Ain't enough hours in a day, ain't enough seconds in a minute. Check the digital display, cause y'all don't seem to know what time it is. That's word to the continuum. Accusers and defendants, both the same coin at a minimum, a different sidewinder. A loser, a finder. Forget the temporary and existent on a timer. Live long enough to see your heroes vilified. Used to target tribalism, now you're first to pick a side. Boom. you realize that everything is a reflection. The panic's coming from your chest and from your midsection. The overcompensation's hypocritical at best. Direct the rage at those who don't know what to do next. What you expect, they're of the flesh, dressed as jackbooted thugs in vests with armored vehicles fresh off the press. Trillions of dollars is the budget for the fear-driven ugliness. We tripping, everyone is a conductor, steady switch flipping. Made a decision to put your faith in an alternative perspective. Either way, a broken clock is right twice a day. You may not be the sharpest tool in the shed. Maybe you'll know after you're dead, but that said.
That was quite sort of ferocious in a way. In a contained, controlled way. It wasn't like raging against anything, but the flow was just unrelenting in a good way. I don't have enough hip-hop on this show. The main reason is that whenever I get sent hip-hop, 9 times out of 10, it's not very good. It's lazy trap or something. Is mumble rap still a thing? I'm not keen on it. Well, you know, that was Bad Belly featuring Feral Surge. Great song. I really liked it. It just... Because I'm an old school hip-hop fan from like the late 80s to the early 90s. There was a 4 or 5 year period where that stuff was good, and then it all went wrong for me personally. Not personally, I mean, but you know, that was kind of like a modern take. I'm not sure what I'm talking about. I never am. James Henry, sing us a beautiful song called A Girl Like You. Please, James Henry, this wonderful, gifted UK songwriter. You are our only hope, and you don't even have to have your hair up in donuts to say that. No, I'm getting my Star Wars things confused. Anyway, James Henry, A Girl Like You on SLERADIO now.
Imagine my shock in the blink of an eye patch. My comic disguise is blown. Embellishing wigs, I'm on makeup and trousers all over a slide trombone. All I want is a girl like you to love me so long. At the front is a girl like you who's writing this song. I fall in the dust where the elephant lingers, and gentlemen eat some fire. A flying trapeze hasn't slipped through his fingers. He's testing the safety wire. But I just want a girl like you to love me so long. In the front for a girl like you could do me no wrong. No, I just want a girl like you to love me so
James Henry, A Girl Like You. Well, that did lift the mood a little, didn't it? Or a lot, depending on where you started off from. If you were high already, emotionally, then, you know, maybe you are off on another plane of existence right now. I am certainly in much improved spirits right now after having listened to that turbocharged pop gem of a song from the man himself, James Henry. I must admit I was maybe expecting something more sort of sparse. I don't know. Maybe I am sort of misremembering or getting his music confused with someone else, because there's a few sort of similar, I mean, artists sort of what's the term, making similar kind of sort of classic pop song style of music. Who comes to mind? Dave Moulter and a couple of others who kind of have that same sound. Omen Machine. I've had this song for a long time. This is one that Jay, the boss man of SLA, sent me a long time ago, last year or whenever it was. This is some metal on the show. That's another under whatever the word is. I don't have enough metal on the show, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. This is a song called The Mirror by a band called Omen Machine.
For your tongue, and you in my heart, my slave. Before I get one chance to breathe you once around me, got my Achilles. Soliloquizing with words, myself into weapons. I empty all I breathe, abandoning my needs. My taste is collected, raised on attention, sound is still my senses. Listen to your inner voice, even crickets fall silent. Don't have that choice. Every fiber of my being untangles without cessation. Start to weave myself into the galactic quilt of creation. I'm not just changed by you.
Omen Machine, The Mirror. Curious group, this from Nottingham, England, in that this is the only release they have. I was just checking their Spotify. There's only this one song that came out last October. They have this sort of youthful aggro about them. They don't sound like architecture or anything, but that's the only reference I can make in that sort of screaming vocal type of a band. But I like the variety of and the execution, and the song has a certain it's an acquired taste, I think. That thing where you go from all-out screaming into a slightly more melodic but still screaming kind of thing for a chorus and whatnot. But yeah, Omen Machine. Curiously, just, I don't know, odd. Because they sound so sort of pro and all that. They've got a video and everything, and then you go check out their Twitter, and they have like 46 followers and I don't know, one song. Hey, I don't know what they're doing now, but that was great. I wouldn't mind hearing some more music from Omen Machine one of these days. But let's play some Gib now. Gib. I've actually never bothered to ascertain how to pronounce his name, but let's just pretend that it's Gib. The song is called Slam. On SLERADIO.com right now. That was a song called Slam by Gib. That's what I get for not preparing. But it was a great song. Sort of an instrumental interlude, which might lead you to suspect that I plan these shows, which I don't. I gather up songs, and when I have 14, that's it. I play them, and then the only rule I really have is that I don't generally play two songs from the same artist on the same show unless it's like a punk artist, and then I might play two. Or if it's whatever. Sometimes you gotta do that. What was I thinking? I don't know. The next song, maybe, which is called Dead Bones. This is a Swedish band. They only recently. What am I saying here? I got an email from them. Okay, I got an email from the bassist. I'm Björn, and this is one of those things where you listen to a song for 5 seconds and you know you're gonna like it and you're gonna play it, and that actually holds true to when it comes to the music on the show. Sometimes I play stuff that I haven't listened to. Usually, I'd say 9 times out of 10, I have a quick listen, and that is very quick. I listen for 5 to 15 seconds of a song, and then I make a decision. And I know what I like, and it's very apparent from those very first bars of any song, whether I'm gonna like it. And right now, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be quiet, and you can listen to this masterful song from Abandoned Playground. It's called Dead Bones. Yes, indeed. my thoughts exactly. I like the less abrasive vocal style on that a lot. I kind of maybe I'm projecting because I like doing sort of metal style music, but I don't really have the voice to sing in a classic sort of metal fashion. Like a Rob Halford or someone, or even a Blaze Bailey. I've got this voice that it is, but it's kind of worthwhile, I think, to still make the kind of music you want to make and sing in the voice that you have, and not try to force it to be something that it isn't. And it's a great song. Actually, there was a certain sort of punky, hardcore-ish edge to the vocals, but it was still kind of clean and pleasant. Well, not pleasant, but whatever. That was a great song. That's why it's here. That was Abandoned Playground, Dead Bones, and I'm sure you're gonna hear a lot more of them, and I'm equally sure that this is the last time they're gonna want to be on this show, because this has been Birds and Clouds is what I'm looking at. And the next song is called Don't Turn Back. That almost rhymed. The artist is called Destiny Returns. I'm going to preface this by saying that when I listened to this, I gave it the 5 to 15 seconds from the start. And as soon as the music started playing, I started smiling. And as the music continued to play, I started laughing. And that's a good sign. Because, man, this is a great song. Don't Turn Back by Destiny. I cut myself off there. That's the first. That's a first. Anyway, Destiny Returns and Don't Turn Back on SLERadio.com.
Here by your side, I've got your back, my love, and we'll make it through this time. If you just follow the path to the light. Time back. Now we can do it. Now we can do it. With your hand in mine, we'll do what's right tonight. Never a doubt or a catch. We'll find the strength to get it right this time. Confess your fears and your pain. Just open the door.
That, yeah, the laughing thing, that was not because I thought the song was funny in any way, but what I liked about it was the just total everything and the kitchen sink thrown into the soundscape, the production, and definitely hearing lots of sort of influences from 80s sort of proggy AOR, like Asia, and yes, when Trevor Rabin was involved, you know, Honorable Lonely Heart and stuff like that. Not that that song came to mind, but you know that thing. And I, you know, the classic sort of melodic harmony guitars and the keyboard stabs and everything, and then very nice sort of verse, chorus, and then the middle eight, or whatever you want to call that part, towards the end, which was really nice melodic, added a different edge to it. But it was sort of still kind of, you know, it was like a time warp to me, in a pleasant way. That was Destiny Returns. That was Destiny Returns, a song called Don't Turn Back. A little hope for everybody out there right now. This is a song. It also was, and it is, and it also will be a song by Jake Matheson, a friend of the show, Dave Moulter, who suggested Jake get in touch with me, and I'm glad he did. This particular artist comes from that sort of storytelling. Well, you know, let's just listen to the song. I think you'll know what I'm saying, what I mean here when I say storytelling. I'm going to leave it at that. The song is called A Little Hope, and I'm going to tell you right now that a couple of shows from now, on this particular show that you're listening to, you're going to hear more from Jake Matheson. But this is the first appearance of this fine American artist on the show. A Little Hope on SLERADIO.com.
You're tired, uninspired, you're lonely. You're a weary, traveled soul. And like a gypsy, always eclipsing the night. Baby, what are you running from? And everything is so confusing in your eyes. There's nothing cut and dry. You like to settle down on the outside, but on the inside you're too afraid to try. I'll give you a little hope. You don't need much, but you need to know there's a chance that you're not alone, and I might be your home. I'll give you a little hope, just a little piece to hold, and a chance that you're not alone, 'cause I might be your home. You say you have forgotten what it's like to lead a normal life, and babe, I know you're right. But you trusted once, you'll trust again. You're strong enough to fight. You wanna watch the sunset, I wanna watch the sunrise from your bed. Baby, rest your precious head maybe come tomorrow. There'll be nothing left to borrow from the dead. Maybe we could just dance instead. I'll give you a little hope. You don't need much, but you need to know there's a chance that you're not alone, and I might be your home. I'll give you a little hope, just a little piece to hold, and a chance that you're not alone, 'cause I might be your home. Well, seasons change, it's getting colder. We're getting older, time moves on. Shake that heartache off your shoulders. I know a place where you and I belong. Give me a little hope. I don't need much, but I need to know there's a chance that I'm not alone, and I might be your home. I'll give you a little hope, just a little piece to hold, and a chance that you're not alone, 'cause I might be your home. I might be your home. I might be your home. Come on home, baby.
Oh, Bon Jovi wishes he sounded as good as Jake Matheson. Yeah, so there's a New Jersey connection here. This song by Jake Matheson is from his forthcoming album that he's currently working on. And it was called A Little Hope. I'm going to be playing another song, the other single from the forthcoming record on a forthcoming show, because that's a really cool other? Sorry, Jake, this is the kind of show it is, so you can still sort of reach out and say, please don't ever mention my name again. If you want. But no, seriously, Jake Matheson working on a debut album out there in Pittsburgh. What's that? Pennsylvania? Pronunciation is sometimes difficult. And there's a certain New Jersey vibe to that, as he mentions in his email to me. His style is contemporary rock to contemporary folk / Americana. Not a million miles away from the likes of the Kidners and stuff like that. Maybe Kelly would enjoy that. I don't know. But I do spend a fair amount of time chasing the darkness. And that's the kind of masterful professional segue into songs you get on this show. I'm going to play a song from Polyphonic Underground's Terrible Investments. And this is a song by a Canadian artist called Peacecraft. And it is called Chase the Darkness.
Personal security precautions.
start to change. These days they start to blend together. These days they start to change.
Peacecraft, chase the darkness. There's so much energy and drive in that song, enough to power a projectile weapon of some sort into a mountainside somewhere. Or maybe not, as the case may be. I don't know, a week or so, 2 weeks ago, I exchanged a few messages with Peacecraft, and he mentioned that hasn't been involved in making music. He has been, after this project hasn't been involved in music all that much because of reasons, which is, understandable, but rather too bad, because I think that's on a really cool record with a ton of cool artists. Well, if 10 equals ton, well, it's just one letter apart, which is the Polyphonic Underground record, Terrible Investments. That is probably my favorite song. Very. And why is that? Well, I would venture a guess it's because of the beat, which has that quality of being slightly sort of rushing ahead of the actual tempo. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm going to play one more song. This is the last song, and then I'm going to go and worry about something. This is a song called Sleazy World. It's the first sort of proper Black Distortion song I ever wrote. The version that you're going to hear is entirely re-recorded. This is not the original one. This one also has Joe Wilkie on vocals. It's time for me to stop talking and maybe read a poem, except I don't have a poem to read you. But yeah, this is Sleazy World. This is from the first Black Distortion collection. I'll be back in August. And in the meantime, have a good time all the time. Or as good as you can make it.
Well, I don't care like a subconscious impulse. I can see it right in front of me.
Tell the boys to ride.
seems so far away, as if swallowed by a mist. All our yesterdays seem so far away, as if swallowed by a mist. All our yesterdays seem so far away, as if swallowed by a mist.
Silence, fragile.